One game is just one game. Obviously, the dynamic of having him at the beginning of the game caused a lot of problems for Milwaukee because they didn't know what to expect. So it kind of threw them off at the beginning. And having James out there, they're definitely a better team. But going forward, they definitely going to need him. We've seen how Giannis and Milwaukee played against Brooklyn the first two games. I mean, the last two games of the regular season, they dominated. And they can get back to that. They got a great coach, a championship coach in Bud. I was with him in San Antonio. He's going to make some adjustments. This is not going to be a cakewalk for them. They're going to need James. And I think for the biggest thing about it is the Nets have to come out and find a way to not only get the points, but get the playmaking that they're going to miss with James. It's not really about the points. You still have two of the greatest players in the game. You know, Blake Griffin really won that last game for him with his energy and the way he played. So somebody else going to have to step up. Yep. And like I say all the time, if one of your stars go down, somebody has to step up. 03, Malik Rose stepped up when David Roberts went down. So if you want to win, it's time for your other players to step up. Everybody has the opportunity.
And for the Nets, the concern to me is pretty clear that James Harden's not just going to miss Game 2. If he was ruled out for Game 2 Sunday morning after a hamstring that's been hampering him all year, and unfortunately, I mean, the only real injury he's ever had of his career. It's not a guy who's been injury-riddled. It's the opposite. He's been an Iron Man. He's always out there, and now this hamstring's giving him trouble. And we also know the Nets were one team pre-Harden, one team with Harden, and another team once he went down. And so why were they able to win Game 1 despite Harden going out? Because the Milwaukee Bucks literally had their worst three-point shooting performance in 3 years. I don't think that's going to happen again. You can be like, oh, they played great defense. Kind of. A lot of those were wide open threes, and Milwaukee went 6 of 30. They truly have not, in the regular season at least, hit fewer than 6 three-pointers in a game since 2017-18. So I don't think that's going to happen again. I also think Durant's line is interesting, Brandon, because it speaks to how great he is, that he was able to almost get 30, but it wasn't easy. Right. And it wasn't easy because P.J. Tucker has as much experience guarding Kevin Durant in the playoffs as any player in the league. Did it look to you like Durant, those were easy buckets, or he had to work for those buckets? Because they will make him work. And if Harden's not out there...
Yeah, it's the NBA. They're professionals, of course, but they won. And it's getting to a point where I'm just redundant. I told you what was going to happen in the playoffs, Nick. Yeah, of course, P.J. Tucker does a great job when he's out there. But we're talking about Kevin Durant. Right? This is the number 2 basketball player in the world right now behind LeBron James. So I don't care who you put out there. You can bring back the glove. You want to bring Dennis Rodman in. Who else you want to throw out there? Stack, you can come back. Put you out there in your prime, Stack. I love you. You my big brother. But I'm telling you, you ain't stopping Kevin Durant.
Ain't nobody stopping KD.
All right,
nah.
Here's the...
P.J. Tucker ain't either.
Yeah, right. No, nobody's stopping him. Here's the deal. I've been saying the same thing all year, and I had to listen to this stuff. Well, the big three, they haven't played together. They only played 8 games. Well, did you see the ball movement when they played? Then defensively, their defense is trash. Well, look what they did. The Bucks all year were averaging 120 points. Their defense looked phenomenal. The way they were communicating, the game plan, sensational. And then rebounding. They're undersized. Well, the rebound battle was respectable. Here's the thing with James Harden. Let me answer the question. Do you need James Harden? You absolutely need James Harden because that's why you brought him in. It makes the path to the finals just a little bit easier. But these two still together, they're still going to get the job done. And then Mike James. I hit my boy up, Justin Zermello, April 21st. And I said, man, tell me about this guy. I think they signed him on a 10-day. And I said, tell me about this guy. He said, Brandon. And this was April 21st, 6:15. Reasons for the Brooklyn Nets to win. Offensively, the signing for Mike James from Moscow is huge. The top scoring point guard internationally and former NBA player will fill a huge void. Listen, this is a Fred Van Fleet type dude. So you saw him. Yes, James Harden was there, but he kept that offense clicking. He kept everybody in sync, and he got everybody where it needed to be. So until James Harden comes back, Mike James is going to be the guy that keeps this team together. So Nick, you gotta stop this madness with the Brooklyn Nets. You were at the game. You saw it up close and personal.
Brandon, what was your pick in this series? It was Nets in 6, right? Nets in 6 was your pick in this series, correct?
That's right.
I don't want to misquote you.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
We are now, so a series that you didn't think the Nets were going to sweep. You didn't think Nets in 5. You thought it would be a good series. We now, by your own admission,
that's right,
are replacing the guy who you thought should have been MVP of the league before he got hurt with a dude who they signed off a 10-day from Moscow. And you're like, what have I been telling you? Same thing. Well, there's a difference, buddy. And I mean, the idea that there is not going to be a reevaluation after you go from Harden to Mike James from Moscow. And you're right. I did say the Bucks would kill them on the glass. And the offensive rebounds were 15-6. And I did say the Nets wouldn't be able to stop Giannis. And Giannis, what'd he go for, 34 and 13? And I did say the Nets defense stinks. And if you think holding the Bucks to 107 on their worst shooting night they will have all series is good, I disagree with you. I don't think the Nets played great defense. I don't. I think they got very fortunate on missed open threes, and that won't happen again tonight. That's what I think.
Well, I'll continue to be this broken record and just be redundant. I've been saying the same thing since December. So, look, Wilds, Nick knows what I said. I picked the Nets to win it before they signed James Harden. So I still believe I'm still going to be confident the same way I was confident with the Clippers when they were down 0-2 and when they were facing elimination down 3-2. So, Wilds, you know what time it is. This team will stand up and get the job done.
Okay, I've got 2 guarantees and 1 question for Stack. Here's the first guarantee. The Bucks will not shoot 20% from 3. They are going to shoot much better. Guarantee number 2. Blake Griffin will not look like it's 2015. He's out there dominating. He went 18 and 14. That's not going to happen. So those are the 2 guarantees. Here's the question that I have no idea how this is going to play out. Late in the game, Stack, Blake Griffin stepped over Thanasis. It was just the ultimate disrespect. NBA has a long history of when you step over a guy, whether it's Ty Lue, whether it's Draymond LeBron, you know you're doing it. You're doing it to send a message. So the odd, interesting part about this is not like a figurative, hey, that's my brother on my team. We're all like the brotherhood. That's Giannis's literal brother. Does Giannis have to have a response to Blake? Does it throw Giannis off? Does Giannis play with more passion? I don't know how this is going to play out, Stack, so that's my question to you.
They ain't going to do nothing about it. Giannis can't afford to get kicked out, so why even get up off the bench and do all that? No. Your brother's not going to play that much, so let it go. Blake, good job, Blake. Somebody has to be that guy on your team.
Wow.
This is the playoffs. This is about winning. Who cares about disrespecting the next team? Long as it's on the court. One thing about it, the referees, one referee got it in between. Blake and Teague had words, and they was right next to each other. If they wanted to throw a punch, Wilds, they could have. Nobody's fighting these days. Nobody's fighting in the game.
People but it's just like
people talk about me. Though,
I was surprised
that like in the NBA game. I've never been in a fight with an NBA player. Guys, it's a lot of respect when we talk trash, but
technically true.
It's a lot of respect there too.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.